with this, just to kind of like a recap of what Uzo said the last time was the fact that it's a web-based collaboration platform, which is obviously limited to the company, organization, and teams as well, depending on who has access to it and all. And obviously, it's a web page, and also it can be also accessed by the integrated platform system, which is Teams, which was the way so it was open it via the web. And also, if you see the way I opened it the first time, that was just via Teams. So you can open it via those two ways, which is a bit of an introduction into it. And also, we're going to be looking at the fact that it's kind of like a repository to store and manage our shared document. So basically, it's kind of like to store, complete document for company, and also just not to take much of our time. I'm just gonna go by the tips Uzo mentioned, and then that's where I'm gonna which is just creating a SharePoint page. So this has actually been designed just, for us to have a background. But so if user could go to that new, just for us to see what the pages involves. So we have like list, document, page, space, new post, new links, and plan and have. So now basically, so if you want to have like list of documents, list of tabs or list of boxes just to create, whatever you want to design or document library, or you want to create new pages, new posts, new links, plan, or you want to integrate some apps with it. If you go to the page details, please, the one after, just showing them what is on the top header. So on the top header, we see the page details. So this page details is kind of like showing on, if you look at the right side of the screen, you see where the page details is talking about, the properties and all that. Now, if you remember the last time, for those that actually go over the video or listen, you remember Uzo mentioned version control, which is whereby you check, who has checked, worked on it. Maybe there was a mistake, and then you want to go back to what you've done before because you believe that what you've done or what you did before was actually the right thing. So if you click on the version history, then you can see what has been designed and what has been worked on. So this is going to be a fresh one. So I haven't done anything, just for us to have a look of what has been done, and what actually is on this page is the fact that we have the added hero, which the top one, the added event. So if you could just toggle over it, so if you click on that added hero, it's going to show us the added hero side. If you click on added events, it's going to show us, it's going to come down by itself and show us the added event. And if you click on the next one, it's just going to be coming down by itself, dynamically, just to show us what is being designed on the page. If you please close that for me. And then the next one is the analytics. So if you click on that, the analytics is just to show us basically like, who page viewers who had viewed it, activities going on these pages, just to know that, okay, teams are using it well, and then everything is going on security wise. Nobody has actually tampered with it and all that. You could just come through here and have a look of the traffic and just the like. So not to waste our time, if you just close that one, please. Now, the next one is publish. So I might like to come to the publish tab, because that is where when you finish your work, you click publish, and then all your work is being shown on there. And then the next one, which is the share, is when you want to share it to maybe share page, or copy the link and then you share it to someone else. Maybe someone is struggling to find the link to the team's SharePoint, maybe the finance or whatever. You could just copy the link, share with the person via email or whatever. The person will come in there and then access it. Now, the main point of it now is the edit. So the edit part, also after the edit, if you want to like expand, obviously you can. So the edit part is now where you're gonna start designing, your page best spoke to your team and what you wanted, on your SharePoint page. However, just to reiterate and mention something for everyone to know, that SharePoint actually is for document library, and obviously you can do multiple document library. But the reason why we obviously have pictures and all that is that some people want to design their SharePoint to look very attractive, and then also do some bit of collaboration. If you remember when User mentioned it in the video or in our speech the last time, she kept, hammering on collaboration. So collaboration in the sense that, you have your maybe team events, maybe you have your team retrospectives, you want to do bingo on that. You just things you plan to do that just make your team fun and all that, and then reminders and as well. You can as well have it on your team, on your SharePoint page as well. So we're just going to do a basic of, because what I'm going to be doing, my part is just to show us the tools and things to design, and then Uzo will take over from there. So now one of the things we're going to look at is if you look at the right answer, which is right, the two boxes. So these two boxes, obviously, so if you click on, you're not clicking on it yet, please. So if you like, if you look at the text, if you click on the text or image and all that, it's gonna automatically, okay, if you click on it, please, Uzo, just for them to see. Yeah, you see that it's gonna automatically bring in, something like, like what you've clicked on, is gonna bring it directly to the page. However, if you just clicking the next one and the next one, it's gonna be designing it just one after the other sequentially. However, the best practice is to design it, using the best practice way of designing, which is obviously, so if you undo, please, and then, so if you undo, so if you now click on the plus sign, which is, no, if you undo, just to close this one,
It's not
sorry.
letting me undo. Let me delete it.
Okay, thank
Not
you.
letting me undo. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
so if you go back and then say edit, and then, yeah, so if you
So,
scroll up more, please. So if you look at how Uzo was scrolling up and down, you see, so if you click on that plus sign, so the plus sign is just to help you have a section. So you can like grid your page just the way we have the picture beneath. So you can grid to 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, or 1/3 left, 1/3 right, full width section or vertical section. So let's have a bit of a look on into the 2 columns or three, anyone. Um, so as you can see that it's divided into two sections. Now, if you click inside one of the section, it's going to bring another plus sign for you to like have another section in it. So now if you click on the plus sign, you said, okay, bring an image. Unfortunately, I wasn't using my system. I'm not using my system. I kind of like downloaded some images for us to, upload on there. But Uzo, thanks for doing that for us. If you can upload any image for Team Bravo, or something, or you can do web search, maybe you could do if you can see upload web search and all that. You can see. So now there is there's an image that is being uploaded on that. So if you go to the next section, please, user, and then you click on the plus sign, then you could say, okay, let's kind of like have we can have a link or a YouTube link, but I would like us to have a link or maybe the quick here. So, you can say, okay, paste a link to it. So now for someone, I remember somebody asked a question during the last session Uzo has, which was like, can they have their Azure DevOps stuffs on there? And then Uzo responded that, you can integrate it on there and then you can, so from here you can paste your Azure DevOps link here. You can paste the retrospective link board, estimation link board, or what have you, and then paste it in there, or your SharePoint link as well. So it's going to be like, roll back into the SharePoint page. So you can have the link and then paste it on there. Yeah. So now if you click on the plus sign on top as well, again, I just want to, no, not the top one. If you click on that and then say 1 column, please. Now, why I did this is initially, let me say, as a designer, I made a mistake. I wanted to like have a welcome, banner on the first one, but because I was rushing, my manager is on top of my neck. I just have to get something done. I've started, on the wrong level or ground. You say I can go back and just click it, and then it will come to the top and then give me what I wanted. So if you click on the plus sign, the middle, yes, please, and then click on banner, please. Then you have hard heading. So now this is for Team Bravo. So please kindly write Team Bravo for me. And then, we have this Team Bravo SharePoint as a banner. Now take note, banner is very important in software design. Now, the color of your background is also very important. So that will be decided by the team when you have your chance to keep on with. So now it's got name or email address. So you can have your email address. However, I just want to say, so the kind of email address we have here for SharePoint in an organization is kind of like a group email distribution list, e.g., finance@bluesky.com, if you know what I mean. So you kind of like, okay, this is our email for for people to like for those that reach out to the CRC. So you went to support at CRC at CRC support.crc at bluesky.com and all that. You're gonna have that kind of a group email distribution list and there. And then if you scroll up more, so that about design. So if you could scroll up more, we can just do more like maybe three, or I just leave that to the team to do that. But which area I want to come about is the document part, which is the bottom one. So if we come to the bottom one, then we kind of like, okay, if you click, yeah, that was the one I was trying to do that, my system was hanging. So now so we're kind of like, if you remember, you can see that, I'm working in alignment with Uzo's video that she did the last time. She talked about something like naming conventions. So the naming conventions is where you're going to have names that when you are searching for, obviously you can't do it in isolation. You have to do it as a team so that you can know what name you've got for it. Like, for instance, why we have like IT department is, okay, you can have something that relates to the IT department, something that relates to the QA department, something that relates to the DevOps department. So if you click on that, then you can say, okay, folder, and then inside the folder, you can now create, documents in it. And that is that about that one. Um, so
Okay. My system is now hanging up a bit, but yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So not to take much of our time because I know we've got limited time for this, but I know teams or people that are watching this, they are very, very brilliant. And by the time they come up with, designs for their SharePoint, is gonna be awesome and mind-blowing. So now, mine is just to talk more of, the functionalities and the tools as well. So for instance, you finish this work, but you don't want to publish it yet. However, remember, Uzo mentioned something like a real time. Real time is the fact that while someone is working on it, on as far as I am aware of SharePoint, when someone is working on it, it's going to lock everyone out. So the part of the real time is the fact that when it's being published, you can have access to it. But Uzo can correct me on that. But as far as I'm
Yeah.
aware, that is that for the real time. However, if, for instance, you don't want to publish your work here because everything you do is going to be showing, in the page details. So that's where the version is true and what have you. So if you click on the save draft, you can save it as draft and then publish it later. And
Okay.
also you can undo
So
using okay.
sorry, Emmanuel. My system is kind of hanging, so let me just exit this and start all over again, and then let's see how.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
Thank you. So now, as far as we are still concerned, we still got discard changes and then, republish and the likes. So I think it just kind of like, publish itself dynamically, but sometimes, I think it happens, but I don't know. So so as I'm, progressively, so we have the save as draft, we have the undo button where you can undo changes and then, recreate whatever you got or do redo or resuscitate or, revive whatever you feel you need to do again. You can discard changes, and then the part I'm going to is the right side, which is in bold republish, which is to publish. When you publish it, then it's going to go live straight away. It's going live and everyone will see it. And then once it's published, you won't see republish or publish again. What you will see is the button will change to edit back. So when it changes back to edit, then someone else can jump into it and then do whatnot or some works or some uploads on it. Is that okay? But I don't know because I remember just now when I was talking, I remember that my own organization, multiple people can work on the SharePoint at the same time because I remember that for my own department, which I'm the one kind of like handling. I'm kind of like able to access it when I still see my director even in the SharePoint page doing bits and stuff. So I don't know if, that is, limited to someone, but however, I know that you can still do your stuff when, or maybe it's just related to uploading. So I haven't done my research in that area. So that's all for me. If there's any question you can ask, and if you want to wait till after Uzos has presented, you can ask as well. Thank you for listening. I appreciate everyone for your time. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Does anyone have any questions with what Emmanuel has presented, or are you happy for us to continue? Okay. All right. I'll take the silence as permission to continue. So I'll continue. So unless things have changed, the instruction we had was this is obviously a team site. However, and there are two SharePoint pages, one for Dynamic, one for Bravo. We were asked to, because the last team basically designed their page from scratch. And what you saw initially is a template. So this is how it comes. It'll just tell you sample, add your stuff here. So everything else is what you do. You can delete this, you can add whatever it is you want, like Emmanuel has just gone through. The instruction Deji gave us was we should tell you guys how to use SharePoint and start with like a preliminary design for you, so that once you take it over, you can add to it, change things, whatever it is. I mentioned before that you can't break SharePoint, so don't be hesitant to play around with it. But we don't want to take you completely away from the project you're working on. We just want to give you this tool as a collaborative environment. So after today, all your demos, all your sprint plans, everything will be now saved on SharePoint. Gone are the days where someone will say, oh, can you share the document to me on Telegram? If anyone needs to share any document, it's put on SharePoint and the entire team has access to it. Now, just to clarify what Emmanuel said, let me just discard changes here. Now, yes, okay, fine. It's fine. Now, once this, it's not letting, okay, sorry, let me, would you like to go back to the version? No, I don't want to go back to the version. Sorry, I didn't read that. Okay, it's not letting me go past that. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'll just leave this for now, because it seems to be hanging a bit. Yeah, so what Emmanuel said, it's twofold. We're showing you how to edit the page, but the only roles that should edit your team SharePoint is the role of the ADM or SM. The same way they administer your Azure DevOps board is the same way they're going to administer your SharePoint page. As a team, like Emmanuel said, you guys will decide on what your design will be, what the features you want to include will be, whatever it is. The BAs can write the story saying, based off of our team meeting, the team has agreed that we'll add a document library or a calendar or news blog, whatever it is. And once they have done that, the SM or ADM will be the ones to go and edit and add everything that we just talked about, and then the QAs will test it. But once it has been done, this is a SharePoint page. Anybody can use this. You don't have to edit it. There are many different ways to use it. Okay, so let me go to the dynamic page. Let me show you what this, again, like I said, is just a starter. Okay, so this is team dynamic SharePoint, just your header, like Emmanuel talked about. Pictures, you can change the pictures. None of these things are permanent. So you can put an about us here, decide what you want your about us to be, talk about your team. So this is a team SharePoint page. So you talk about your team, you talk about the members, you talk about all of that. Then you can also talk about the project that the team is working on. Okay, so this is just playing around, time, word clock. Then you can have meet the team. So this is about the team. Oh, this is Tona. This is a team member. I looked for some of you online. I couldn't find. The only person I found her picture was Tona. So Tona, please excuse me for using your image. But the rest of these are placeholders. So you guys can add all your team members to say, this is our SM, this is who they are, this is the role, all kinds of things. On here, you have project stakeholders. So you have Deji, he's a sponsor, Pat, BlueSky, all of that. Then you have your artifacts. So if, for example, the ADMs, every role is supposed to have its own folder. Again, these are just placeholders. You can play around with it, do how and do with it as you want. So these are just placeholders. So if, for example, I want to go to your project documentation that probably has like your team chatter, it has your definition of ready, definition of done, it has your activity tracker, all those kinds of things. I can click on it and it can take me to your folder that has project documentation. Yeah, so these are all the different folders. You can add links to all these folders on there as well. Just, so if you want to add documents on here, you can add documents here. Now, these features are available for every team member to use. Yeah, so remember I told you you have your sprint demo, for example. So you guys have just had a sprint demo. And I think one of the issues with Bravo probably, the team either didn't upload their slides on time. Going forward, the SM can upload the document that you have for your demo. Let me use the one you guys did the last time. I don't know if you'll let me do this. No, sorry, that's not what I want to do. Upload, upload, not new, I beg your pardon. So I'm uploading a file. This is your demo from the last, what did they call it? Your last sprint report. So now you have your demo here. Anybody can come and open this document and work on it. That's what Emmanuel was talking about. So I want to open it in the browser. So this is your presentation. So now, rather than sharing it on Telegram, Mary, who is the SM for, okay, this is Bravo, sorry, Adigbe, who is the ADM for Bravo, can put it up here. And then his team members can go and add slides and change it and, add their documentation here. So you guys don't have, everyone works in this environment. And once you're on here, remember we talked about version control. So if you click on these three buttons here, you can see a whole list of, what do they call it, of different instructions. You can manage access, give people access, because remember, only the people, it talks about 8 members here. So team Dynamic has 8 members here. Only these 8 members have access to this. Other people can see it, but when you're talking about documentation, if someone clicks on it, they probably won't be able to access it. But if you want to give someone access, you can do that as well. Then you have rename, download, all of that. Then you have version control. So if I click on version control, is a new document. So the only name here will be my name. But the moment Adigbenro opens this document and adds to it, it will have modified by Adigbenro. Mary adds to it, it will add Mary, the date and the time. So if, for example, Hamed does something and says, oh, I deleted a particular page, I made a mistake and I deleted it by accident and the undo button is not working, for example, you just go back to the version that has the information you want, click on it, and it will restore it for you. You can either view it or it will restore. So that's what I mean by you can't break SharePoint. It's all the information you need is there. So you can now start collaborating on here as a team. And like I said, this is just their folders for the ADMs, all the BAs, all your artifacts, all of that, all kinds of things. So people won't just save documents and dump them anyhow. You guys agree as a team. You can change all these things. You can rename them. I just created them just to show you guys what the art of the possible with SharePoint. So this, you can name it whatever it is you want to name it, but all the different teams can save all their artifacts in their different folders. And then when you go onto SharePoint, your main page, so this is your home, you click on here. Sorry, I think I went to the wrong place. Oh, sorry, here. So no, this is Bravo. Okay, I'm navigating too many pages. Please excuse me. So yeah, let me just open it on here. So yeah, you can have the folders here as well. So there's so much to do. You can play around with it. You can have a photo gallery. Maybe you guys have pictures of yourselves. You hang out and you want to share some of your hangout pictures. You can upload them. You have news. You want to create a post. All kinds of different things. It's literally an empty. It's for you to design. Basically, it's for you to play around with it. It's for you to add the content that you want to add with it. And then even when you're doing your demo, you can present from SharePoint. You can literally, rather than just say sending it to allow me, you can send the link to say our SharePoint sprint demo document is on here. Here's the link. And you send her the link, and then you open it up from here. Like I just opened this one up for you, and you present from here. So everything is made easy. All your team members, as you guys are creating whatever artifacts you're creating, you can basically work from here. You're supposed to use it to collaborate. When you want to attach documents, maybe you're creating content on your Azure DevOps page on a user story, you can literally just copy the link of the document here and put it on your Azure DevOps story and link it. So people don't have to download, maybe you have an image or you have a document or you have a report, whatever it is, you don't just upload it onto Azure DevOps, and then when anyone wants to click on it, they have to download and upload and do all of that. No, you upload it here among your files in SharePoint, and then you take the link of that of the document. Sorry, I think the one I did was this one. Okay, fantastic. So you copy the link up here. It'll give you the link. You copy the link and you save this link on your user story. So anytime anyone wants to open that document, they'll click on that link. It'll open here. Any change they make, any review they make is made in the central document, and a version is created. So that way your SMs and the entire team, not just the SMs, the entire team knows who is doing what at any time. So gone are the days of having to upload random documents and share documents on Telegram. From now on, upload the document here on your Telegram page, I beg your pardon, on your SharePoint page, and then share the link or tell your team members this is where the document is and all of that. So this is just a quick snapshot as to SharePoint, its capabilities, all of that. I also want to highlight what Emmanuel said regarding edit. Remember, the only roles that are editing are the SMs and the ADMs. I think you all have SMs anyway, but I think it's the SMs. I will clarify from Deidre, but it's usually the SMs and ADMs, but it's mainly the SMs because, yeah. Anyway, so SMs, please be very cognizant of the fact that once you click edit, you have to click something else. Once you click edit, you have three choices, because once you click edit, the page is frozen. Nobody can do anything on this page now. If Emmanuel goes onto his system, it will tell him that this page has been locked for editing by 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓. So you can't even hide. Like if anybody touches anything, SharePoint will register it. I can't even hide, So once I open this, maybe someone calls me and I leave. If I never come back to this page again, this thing will just be locked. Nobody can access this page again. It will have to take an administrator role to kick me off. So please be very cognizant that once you click that edit button, you can either save it as a draft. Maybe you're making a change here and you're not ready to publish it. So you can save it as a draft so you won't lose it. You can discard your changes to say, oh, I don't want those changes anymore, I'm discarding them, or you can republish. And then when you click any of those three options, the page is now back again, and then people can now use it. So it's now back here. So please be very, very cognizant of the fact that once you click edit, you have to click something else. Otherwise, you've locked that page and nobody else can use it. Okay, so yeah, this is just remember, Emmanuel said you can access it from Teams. So it's always crunched when it's on Teams. Always go to the URL. That's a better way to access it, because it's a website. So this is now your team website. Like I said, play around with it, add the information it is you want to add, and then, yeah, do with it as you will, basically. And then for that information, we're also going to share that information with you. Okay. So this is we're just going into mandate is just to give you some information regarding SharePoint, all the things we've talked about. Yeah. So these are your deliverables, right? This is what you're going to use SharePoint for. You have to have pages that has the information it is you want. You have to have documents, libraries, and repositories for all the different file formats, all your Word document, Excel, all of that. You guys are creating an attendance tracker. It should live on SharePoint. You have I've talked about your project charter. It should live on SharePoint. So all the documents you're creating for your project should all live on SharePoint. Nobody, once you start creating it, put it on there and edit it from SharePoint rather than editing it from your home system. So I'm going to upload this document for you, but I just wanted you to see the process of doing that. I'll do that real quick again. But anyway, these are your deliverables. You have to have a fully functional SharePoint site that is tailored for you. So it's your taste. The design and where everything goes and what goes where is completely up to you. You guys as a team decide on how you want to design it. The BAs will write the stories, the SMs will develop it, and the QAs will test it to make sure that it meets all those requirements. I've talked about the documents library. You have team role specific folders. Emmanuel talked about integrating with Azure DevOps. So you should have an area, a section that if you're on SharePoint and you click on it, it will take you to your Azure DevOps board. I don't have access to your Azure DevOps board, so I can't really do that. But you just create a section, link, so whoever is on SharePoint, you can literally click on it and it'll take you to your board. Documentation of the different roles, responsibilities. All the things that Deji talked about. There's going to be an individual presentation. You guys have to talk about your roles and responsibilities. All that information is going to live on SharePoint now. What are your project deliverables and your release dates? All that is on there. Your sprint demo, attendance tracking, your calendar, training materials, your videos, all of that. So all of that is your deliverable. As long as it has all that information there, however you choose to design it is up to you. So I told you that I'm going to add this onto your SharePoint page. So I'll just do that real quick, and then I'll pause for questions that you may have. So training, you can move it if you want. Again, I'm just doing this just to show you how to upload documents. So we talked about the SharePoint mandate. So it's a file on my system, team dynamic, SharePoint. Okay, I think this is it. Yeah, SharePoint mandate. All right, cool. So I'm uploading it on here for you. So now it's on here. Once you have access to this, it's here basically. That document, I click on it, and the default is to open it on the system. So that's that document now is available for you guys to have access to. So yeah, I will pause there for now. If you guys have any questions for Emmanuel and I, we'll be happy to take them. Damisola, I'm sharing my screen so I can't see the board. If anyone's raising up their hands, if you could let me know.
Yes, so Adaeze has a hand up.
Okay, go ahead, Adeze.
Okay, I heard you say something about edit. So assuming the BS or QS upload something and there is mistake in the upload, they can edit unless it's the ADM and the Scrum Master.
So I just uploaded a document onto SharePoint, yeah? This document is available for every team member. You can edit, you can add, you can do whatever you want to do. What the ADMs are editing is your page. See, each page has different functionalities. So you have your about us, you have your events, you have your document, you have all these things. Now the team members can click here and go to your document folder, and people can work on the documents. They can add information onto your SharePoint page. You can do a lot of things on SharePoint. So that's for all the team members. You guys can work on SharePoint. Yeah. However, to change the structure of your SharePoint page, you have to click this edit button. And that responsibility is just for the ADM, for the Scrum Master. Let me just start saying Scrum Master just for accuracy's sake. So it's just your Scrum Master. The same way your Scrum Master sets up your Azure board. But when you go to your Azure board, you can create stories. You can create tasks. You can do things on there. But when it's time to configure the board, the person who does it is the SM. That's the same way as this. All the team members, if you open this document that lives on SharePoint now, I can open it, you can open it, Tona can open it, Miriam can open it. We're all editing at the same time. And it will tell you here that, Miriam has joined this page. Adigmero is on this page, and we can all edit together. And once we're editing, we'll save it or close. In fact, you don't have to save it, just close. It will save. But the actual page, editing the page. Now, I've put Tona's picture. If someone wants to remove Tona's picture, they have to edit the page. The only person who can do that is the SM, and the only way they can do that is by consensus of the team. So the team says, oh, we don't really like how these names are done this way. Let's do it a different way. And you all agree, okay, we want to do it a different way. We want, maybe to add our LinkedIn in bios onto our page or something. And then, the whole team agrees. Then the SM will go and make the change on the page. But then everybody can still keep using the page as normal. Do you get the distinction, the difference?
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. But please use your SharePoint page. We're building it so that you can start using it. So we want you to use it. Okay?
Thanks for that, Uzo. Now you have Miracle.
Hi, Miracle. Go ahead.
My question is this: you talk about a song editing the page. No other person can edit the page
I'm so sorry. Could you say that again?
You talked about something like if someone is editing the page, no other person can edit the page until that person is finished.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Okay. Does that mean if someone is editing from Dynamic, someone from Bravo can edit their own Bravo page?
So Bravo people should not edit Dynamic page, and Dynamic people should not edit Bravo page. That's why they're two separate pages for both of you. You can look at your pages and learn from each other. That's why it's available for you to use. You can see each other's SharePoint page, I'm pretty sure. But let your what do they call it? Let your integrity keep you from editing their page. Bravo guys don't have any reason to edit Dynamic page. They're not part of the team. But if Dynamic has something really nice on their SharePoint page and Bravo sees it, they can go, oh, that's nice. We don't have it on our page. Let's add that to our page. Maybe it's activity feature or something. And someone in Dynamic says, oh, I saw this thing on Bravo page. It looks really nice. We can add it to our page. That's fine. But for no reason should you go and start editing their documents. It's not, don't do that. Yeah, so we made it available to both of you so you can learn from each other, but please don't edit anyone's page. And if you do, it has happened before. SharePoint will say Miracle has touched our page, and then the team will go like, Miracle, why are you touching our page? Are you a member of the team? So it'll catch you out. Let me just put it that way. But don't do it anyway. It's not really good practice.
Probably I didn't put a question or something. What I mean is, if, okay, for instance, Mail is working on dynamic page, is working on that page, does that mean I, that from Bravo, I can't work on my page until Mary finishes working on that page?
Yeah, what role are you?
Scrum Master.
Okay, a Scrum Master. Mary is a Scrum Master on another page. Once anybody edits it, it's locked. Everybody else is locked out. The only person who can override that is someone with a higher permission than I have, which is the administrator. So it's kind of thing where if for any reason someone, locks the page and maybe they can't access the system again for whatever reason, maybe the admin, you have to ask them to help you remove the person. But once a page is locked, because SharePoint recognizes that you're changing the fundamental aspect of the page. So that's not when anyone else should be playing around with it. So once that edit button is clicked, it locks everybody else out. So nobody else can do anything on it. Whether you're Bravo, whether you're Dynamic, whoever it is you are, nobody else can access that page unless someone with a higher permission. And I don't think your admin is going to want to do anything here. So once you're a Scrum Master and you click on this for any reason, please remember to discard your changes, save as a draft, or republish, because until you do, your team members no longer have access to that page. Nobody has access to that page. You've locked it down. And the good thing about it is that it will tell you, I wish Emmanuel had access and he will start editing the page. So I can show you, it'll just say locked for editing by Emmanuel. Okay. So you will know who has locked it. So all you have to do is go to Emmanuel and say, Emmanuel, please, could you release the page? Our members want to use it, and he'll release it. But just as good practice, you don't want people to have to go through all of that. Just remember, once you click on the edit button, to save as a draft, discard changes, or republish. Is that okay?
Can I just quickly say something just to that? So like if like Uzo mentioned the last video, it's kind of like, these organizations sometimes will have even had this SharePoint page, and then if you come in as an SM or ADM, then you can just have spin done on that. So most likely you might not even be able to you might not even start from scratch. However, like Uzo mentioned today, it's only SM or ADM that have access or can edit, or whoever that has the authorization, which could be the IT director or whatnot. So not team members actually. So the only thing team member can do is to upload documents and then do things on the SharePoint, but not to edit. So even if someone is working on it and all that, you can still upload your thing and then go on. But the only locking out is to edit. So apparently, if obviously you are working on the SharePoint page, definitely you work with the management team or the leadership team that, okay, we're doing something on this SharePoint. We just want to, quickly do one or two things, take it down, and then, finish your thing and then publish and then go back. So it's not going to lock everyone out to actually, upload or do things on it. It's going to only lock out, when you have, obviously you have the access to it and you're the one working on it and no one else can do it. And no one is supposed to even have access to edit the SharePoint page. That's my own addition. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Manu. Thank you.
Thank you, Uzo and Emmanuel. So Olawumi is up next.
Okay.
Hi, thank you, Uzo. Thank you, Emmanuel, for the fantastic training tonight. So not taking out from what you said, I just wanted to clarify to be sure I understood Miracle in the first place. Miracle, was your question answered? Be sincere, was your question answered? So that I'll know where I'm coming from. Miracle.
Okay.
Yes or no?
I don't know. Okay.
Okay. So what I understood by your question was, if A is working on Bravo and B wants to work on Dynamic, will B be able to work on Dynamic?
Yeah, that's my question.
So the answer is actually yes, because there are two different channels under that team, right? They were built individually, and we are also going to not we also what will also happen is even that A will not even have right to B to edit. A will only have right to view. Do you understand? So A cannot affect you in B. So if I come home to Dynamics and Bravo, if anybody's working on Bravo, somebody else can be working on Dynamics simultaneously, right? Because you have two different pages. And ab initio, I will not give that person right to be. So after this call, for example, all the SMs and ADMs from both teams, you're going to send me at least the emails of your team members, right? And we'll add it on that because it's only the admin guys and code are there right now. So we'll add it on. So I will only put the Bravo guys under Bravo and the Dynamic guys under Dynamic. Apologies. I'll only add the Bravo guys under Bravo and the Dynamics under Dynamic. So you both cannot edit each other, but you can view. Just like how tonight's tutors have explained, you can go in and, for lack of a better word right now, you can copy, you can make reference on things you like on each other's page, but you cannot work on someone else's pages. Yeah? So Miracle, that answer your question. You said what?
Yeah.
Can you also work there? Can A work in B?
A cannot work in B.
Okay,
A
only
can
just
only
to
view
view.
B.
Okay.
A can only view B, but B, everybody in B can actually edit, but the real right falls on the SMs and ADM, right?
Okay.
So everybody in B will give you the right to be able to jump on it and do everything you want to do. So even if you want to harass somebody for holding or locking you guys up, it will be somebody within your team, right?
Okay. It's not like the Bs, they can't edit B, but it's just that only the authorized can do that edit.
Only the SMs and ADMs should be the one editing your page, so you guys can have one voice. I heard Uzo explain that. So you agree in your meeting, and then you come in to make the action. So the action plan is carried out by the SMs and ADMs, just for you not taking your eyes off the main goal, which is your mentor synergy project. You understand? So the ADMs and SMs will be the one, editing and improving the page thereon. But the team members, you can suggest, you can even go to other SharePoint, not necessarily even Bravo, look at what is going on. Oh, and we like this, we want to adopt this, you add it to your page. But just not to digress, just for Miracle's question, the answer is yes, because there are two different pages, right? So Dynamic can be playing with theirs, Bravo can be playing with theirs, right? Thank you. Is that correct, Uzo and Emmanuel? Hope you get his question now.
Yes, I get it.
You guys did not understand him. That's why I had to raise my hand. Apologies.
Oh no, of course. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying.
So there's Wale as well. Hi, Wale.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Please, I just want to ask, how does this SharePoint? Is it through the job board or how? I think when the class wanted to start, I wasn't available, so that's what I want to ask. How do that this after SharePoint?
Sorry, it was a bit faint. Are you asking how you access SharePoint?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Let me share my screen again. Emmanuel showed us, but since you said you came in late, I'll just share it with you again. So you all have access to Teams. So this is your Teams page. Sorry, let me just go down here. So everyone should have access to this on Teams, and you see your Bravo and Dynamic. So Wale, are you in Bravo or are you in Dynamic?
Dynamic.
So this is your Teams page. You see the two channels. This is your channel. You click on dynamic, and
We can
here
see your screen, please.
you can't see my screen. Okay, let me share again. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you should all have access to your team. This is your Teams channels. So ignore all these ones on top. You should definitely all have access to September 24 Sky Citadel CRC College channel. And then there are two channels underneath it, one for Bravo, one for Dynamic. So if you're in Bravo, you click on Bravo, you see your Bravo SharePoint there. If you're in Dynamic, you click on Dynamic and you see your Dynamic SharePoint there. Because they're both Microsoft products, you can access it from here, but it's all very scrunched together. It's actually a URL. So the best way to access it is to click on the drop down for your SharePoint page. You can expand it. If you expand it, it will expand within Teams, which is not what I want to do. So, but I can open a new window and it will open a website for me. So now it looks like a website. This is the best way to access it because everything is all expanded. So if you come here, then you should be able to go from here to wherever it is you want to, whatever you want to do, basically. Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And I think I saw one of the other SharePoint. I just want to show you what it looks like when someone is editing the page. So can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
So this is another team SharePoint page. It says 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐓 Virginia Okonkwo is editing this page. So she's locked it for editing now. You can see who's editing. But yeah, so this page is until she releases it, no one else can edit. But this page is different from all the other pages. She's here at the moment. It's not affecting Dynamics page. There's nobody here. So if I'm a member of Team Dynamics, what someone else is doing on their SharePoint page will not affect me. And like Allow Me says, now, if you notice, thank you so much, Allow Me, for that. So there are 4 members. I don't know if you open it for me, but there are 4 members of this group. Yeah. There's another way to find out, but at the moment there are 4 members. So by the time she adds all of you will now be members of this page. So the only reason I was able to add Deji and Lady Pat and all of that is because they're among these members. I wanted to even add myself and I'm not there. I don't think it recognizes my name or something, but I'm not a member of your page. I have access to it, but I'm not a member of the page. So there are only certain, SharePoint is very, very permission driven because it recognizes that people share very private security related documents on there. So it locks it down for you until you give people access. So even though people can see a lot of this, only those who have who are members can do certain things on the page, or even can be added as, you know, a number of all these things. So when she adds more people here, all the team members will be part of the members of the SharePoint page, and you guys will have a lot of permissions or access to do whatever it is you want to do, even more than me, because I'm not a member. So you guys will be able to enjoy your page, you know, edit it, add whatever it is you want to add, and just generally enjoy it. Yeah. So hopefully that gives a bit more insight into SharePoint. Yeah. And any other questions?
Let me check with Miracle. Miracle, is that legacy hand, or do you still have another
No.
question?
I submit mention of things. I just want to remind Ola me that we don't have access to Teams yet. To Teams channels, to our team channel.
You don't have access to
The team channel. She made mention of our team channel for Bravo and Dynamic.
we already have it's already there. but you can't view it because I want you guys to go through the process by getting your team's email addresses. The guys that are active within your team, give me the email addresses from both teams, and then we can do that tonight. Then you'll be able to view it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Just to aid in this, I don't know, there isn't anyone for training. I thought I added one for, oh yeah, there is. Okay. So, okay, I've added the SharePoint mandate. We actually have a document that has a step-by-step guide as to how to use SharePoint. We know the video is available, but SharePoint is so versatile. You can play around with it. But if you want to know how to add all the different web parts that Emmanuel showed you about, connect YouTube, news, text, images, all kinds of different things to play around with it. There's so much functionality that we can't show you everything. So the reason I keep harping on the fact that you can't spoil anything on SharePoint is because I want you guys to explore SharePoint, especially if you're a Scrum Master. It's such a wonderful opportunity, I'm telling you, because you can play around with it. So, okay, you play around with all the different sections, you come to the section, you play around with all the different, you can copy, it's so versatile. You can add different web parts. Remember, I talked about web parts, people, quick links. There is so much you can play around with. So click on it, find out what does it do. You can choose not to publish, you can delete it afterwards. Each web part has its own functionality. So for example, this is an image. It will also tell you all the different things the image can do. These are the properties of the image. Okay, you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to add text on the image. It tells you can resize it. You can add text on here. There's so much you can do. So play around with it. Yeah, enjoy the experience so that when you're talking about it, you're talking about it with confidence because you played around with this tool. You know exactly what to do with it. But the one thing I said I was going to do with you guys, I don't want to, I'll just undo. If you let me discard. Okay, fine, that's fine. Okay, so it's gone back to the other one I did before. So we have a SharePoint a user guide that we've created, and I'll just open it. I'll save this on here as well. So it has a step-by-step guide as to how each thing works and how to add, different things. We talked about the fact that you have to be the owner, administrator to add pages. You can't change the URL. Only one team member can edit at a time. We've said that already. These are some images. So it's a full page guide on how to do loads and loads of different things. If you want to do anything that is not here, just go online. Nobody talks about Microsoft products like Microsoft. So all you have to do is go online and say, how can I import an image? How can I? And it will help. It will give you the answer, multiple answers, So, but this is just a starter guide. And like I said, this is all the different functions. So now I want to, because this is someone else's document, but I think you guys can use it. So I want to copy it to your, what do they call it? To your SharePoint page. Will it let me? Okay, let's see if it'll let me. Select, okay, this is Team Bravo, dynamic, awesome. So I want to copy it to, let's put it in trainings. So copy here. So a copy of that document has, might have been deleted or you don't have permission, contact the owner. Okay. So it's telling me that I may not have the permission to do that. I don't know why. Yeah, I will save a copy. I'll find out what the issue is. Sorry?
I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
No problem.
Thank you so much for tonight. Maybe you can still show the SMs maybe one or two things you want to show them.
No
But we
problem.
need to take the DAs to their rooms now.
Oh, my apologies. I
Yeah.
lost track of time. Okay, thank
No
you.
worries.